What's up? Here's Corey for Reed River Goods. I recently made a short calling genuine leather a fraud, and folks got mad at me. So I'm gonna take some time tonight just to explain and walk through what I was saying. I think mostly people were confused, which also proved my point that genuine leather has been fooling folks since I was a little kid. I remember it being on my first baseball glove and my first watch, and those things were trash. So anyway, my joke was, and all I was doing was going for the joke, and then I got all this backlash, so I just wanted to explain myself. I couldn't do it very well in 15 seconds, obviously, so I'm gonna try to do it here. So we're just gonna discuss the leather grains and the quality. My joke was that genuine leather is the plywood of leatherwork. And what I basically said was, you've never seen a kitchen table made out of plywood that's nice. I thought it was a pretty good joke. Here we are. But anyway, I think most folks were confused and they wanted me to explain. And so instead of going in the comments and try to figure it all out, I figured I was just going to put a whole nother video out and explain myself. So the leather grain, there's three typical ones you'll hear. There's two others that can sometimes be in there, but your most common that you're going to hear is full grain. Now, full grain leather is in regards to durability, the beauty of it, all the characteristics you get. It's the absolute tops. They don't do anything as far as the finishing. They don't alter the top in any way. They don't try to correct anything. So they kind of keep all that natural beauty that's on that hide. It's there. It's the full thickness. They're not cutting anything off. They're not trying to fix anything. They're not trying to hide anything. And so this is, when you look at the hierarchy, this is the absolute top. So full grain leather is the top of that food chain. And it's the tops in regards to durability, like I mentioned earlier. And then again, when you see some of the characteristics and stuff that are in it, just the plain look of it is awesome. Now, these are also going to be generally the more expensive leathers, and it's because of that, because they're so durable, because of the way they look, the way they break in, the way they last over time. Those are going to be your more expensive goods. Well, I say it's tricky sometimes too, but generally those are going to be the more expensive ones. And you can touch it, feel it, and know that sucker's going to be around forever. So top grain, when you hear the word top, you would think it's the best. And not that it's bad, but it does fall below full grain. And the reason being, when they mention top grain, what they're actually doing is they're actually correcting or altering something on top of that flesh. So they're thinning it down to correct some imperfections, to correct some flaws. And so again, it's a little bit confusing or a little bit deceiving to hear called top grain, because you would think that would be the highest in regards to durability and the way it looks. And they usually do look nice because they're correcting any flaws that may be in there. So it's a step below, and the reason being is because they're actually taking some of that leather off. They're shaving some off, and again, kind of fixing some of those imperfections that may be in there to give you a pretty nice smooth finish on top. It's going to be pretty clean looking more times than not. And like I said, it's just kind of a step below that full grain leather. And so don't let that top grain name think that it is the highest of durability, because that's not necessarily the case. Now, as far as being deceiving, this one has been going on forever. I've seen genuine leather stamped on goods since I was a little kid. I still see it today. You can get just kind of that mid-tier watch. Let's say you get a nice, whatever, Seiko Citizen, something like that. Kind of in that, entry-level range there. You look at almost, man, I know a bunch of them I've seen. But you turn it over, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to see on that band or on that liner, it's going to say genuine leather. Most folks think they're talking about the actual strap that's on there. They're talking about the liner that's on the back. The little paper thin piece of whatever it is on the back of there, that's what the genuine leather is. And then you're left with just some trashy. That's why those things break down and they crack and they look terrible and not that long. because it's not actually anything nice. And so it's kind of, to me, it's been very deceiving. A lot of things that are made out of genuine leather are going to be, they're going to be those cheaper, cheaper items you can find where it's like, yeah, it's leather, but it's not really. And the reason I made the joke about being plywood, genuine leather, it is leather. Don't hear me wrong, but it's essentially just scraps of leather that are bonded together to make a panel. So it's all kind of scraps. And that's why I made the joke, because plywood is exactly that. It's still wood, but it's just scraps of wood that are all put together, compressed and stamped and made into a sheet of wood. So again, it is wood. It's just not very good quality. The same goes with genuine leather. It is leather because they're using leather to make it, but they're making it. It's not the actual hide itself. And it could be bits and pieces from all types of things. So, but this is one of the things, and I think this is where the confusion came in, is I said genuine leather was a fraud. And I think it's because of that, because it's very deceiving. People hear genuine, and shoot, you might almost think that's as nice as it comes. And sometimes even on some items, they'll market it that way as genuine leather, as if it is the highest of quality, which it's not. It's the lowest of quality. So it's kind of the absolute bottom of the barrel in regards to leather. And so I just think it's been stamped on way too many things and kind of given this, it almost has this little stature in there where it seems to be a much more durable product or something like, because sometimes just because it says genuine leather, then the price is going to be, you look at, man, a lot of retail stores now, you can look at purses and things like that that'll have genuine leather as if it is this, high end, whatever. It's like, it's fine, but it's not the highest, level of leather that you can get. So that's where my joke came from. It was harmless. I thought it was a pretty good joke. But essentially that's what I want to do, is explain what I was saying. It's leather. It's just bits and pieces of it. For me, no thanks. I'm gonna stick to hopefully that full grain mostly, and then some top grain as well, because again, it's a step below, and it is a nice leather as well. But that genuine leather, friends don't let friends use genuine leather. So don't make anything out of that. Don't even try it. It's not gonna be nice. If you want it to hold up, use the top two. I think you'll be pleased with your results. But that's just my explanation. Sorry for anyone's feelings I hurt, but hopefully that helps. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'm glad I could hopefully correct that in better than the 15 seconds that I used to make my joke in my short.